Hello, Bartek from Road Racing here. Today we're shooting on location near the Bobber Valley, specifically situated between the charming towns of Rezonchnik and Belchina. Beside me is our very own rider, Kamil Gromnicki. He's had a truly fantastic season this year. He's a Giant brand ambassador. He usually races on a Giant Propel, his Red Rocket. He won the Via Dolny Śląsk General Classification, was Polish Vice Champion in the road race, Polish Amateur Time Trial Champion, and Polish Mountain Road Racing Champion. I could be listing all of his titles here until the 11th minute, and with all of that, he's still a humble, fantastic cyclist and our club colleague. And today he had the perfect opportunity to thoroughly test the Giant Defy. He was just 3 seconds shy of the KOM, simply unaware of the segment. Kamil, what are your thoughts on this endurance bike? Let's be honest, tell us all about it.
Well, the conditions were pretty tough today, so we also had the opportunity to really put it to the test. I mean, I got to test it out.
That's right.
In tougher conditions. And for sure, the stability on the descents felt really great. And it has great stiffness, that so-called power transfer. I felt it immediately when I stood on the pedals.
And how did the 32mm tires perform in such demanding weather, as you mentioned, even drizzling at times?
They were really good.
The new trend.
The grip on tires like these is definitely better than on something like 25mm tires. And they performed exceptionally well, even considering they're practically a full slick tire. Yes, it offered really excellent stability during descents.
And I also have a question for you about these wheels, because these are the lightweight 38s with Sapim C X-ray spokes. It's a really nice setup. And how was the stiffness? Did it feel okay to you?
Absolutely.
They can handle it, right? They have the Magic DBL dynamic balanced lacing. It's a Giant system, likely patented, designed to enhance stiffness as you ride, ensuring optimal performance. Kamil, thank you so much for your help. It's a great pleasure to work with you, and I'll see you at a CX race. Finally invite the boss.
Yes, I will. I absolutely will.
Call me for the next race and I'll come with the camera. See you. Okay, that's Kamil's take on this bike. I was quite curious, as he rides all 3 Giants now, or you could say he has, since he races the Propel and sometimes the TCR, but mostly the Propel. That's his bike of choice, and today he had the chance to really push it on the Defy. Honestly, if he had only known where that segment was, he definitely would have easily snatched the KOM on the Belchin segment, which is quite a challenging one to conquer. I can actually say that I also have a KOM on this very same bike, but it was on a 700-meter, completely flat section. Well, I can certainly tell you that the Giant Defy, starting with its ride feel, we'll dive into the construction later on, is an exceptionally responsive bicycle. It truly accelerates impressively. It's a swift bike, yet offers a comfortable riding position. The higher stack, which you can plainly see, clearly places you in a more comfortable riding position. The handlebar here is also wide, I would say even too wide for me. But it features the diffuse system. From the front, it looks like an aero handlebar with a D-shaped cross-section. If you were to stand it up, it's D-shaped. Let me show you how Kamil sets up his levers. Just so there's no confusion, this is how he has to have his levers. The guy races, he's one of the best cyclists in Poland. That's how it is. The handlebar also absorbs vibrations nicely. Overall, I would say this bike handles very smoothly, very culturally. That's also thanks to these 32mm tires. I can say that Giant tubeless tires are getting better and better with each new version. These are 32mm tires. Is that a controversy? Do we really need 32mm tires? Not always. 28S would sometimes suffice, but I'd never use 25S on this bike. I'm telling you this up front. They simply don't suit this bike. However, between 28, 30 and 32, there's a field of choice for you. I think that on 28s, this bike would simply be a lively drag. It would be a little bit faster, but of course at the cost of comfort. On these 32s, I rode at a pressure of 4.2 to 4.4 bar, and that was completely sufficient for me. The bike is exceptionally lightweight. It truly weighs next to nothing. I can lift it now with one finger, no problem. 7.25 without pedals. That's Giant's weight. That's Giant's technology. To me, Giant is, well, it's a huge company. We are all aware of this. But when it comes to carbon products, they're truly experts. The frame is wonderfully designed because it's dynamic and gently absorbs vibrations at the same time. It turns out that's possible in a single bike. It really is possible. We don't have to design overly stiff frames. This Defy is definitely not one of those. It has a fantastic paint job. You'll see that in the cutaways. The appropriate height of the rim, which is absolutely and completely resistant to any side wind gusts. I can tell you that up front. a very aesthetic, superbly designed stem. It really has a mega exclusive look to it, I would say. It has a pretty steep downward angle. I'll point that out too. The D-shaped seat post is also part of the diffuse system. Important, you can't carelessly shove this seat post into the frame. There's a limit here, a stopper, and we stop at that stopper because the seat post narrows significantly here and will simply not fit properly against the frame. The risk of frame failure then becomes almost certain. As for the saddle itself, I rode those 150 test kilometers on this exact saddle. I didn't swap it out as I'm familiar with this saddle and it truly suits me. It's one of the rare few that genuinely fits me well. The shape of this saddle is modern. It doesn't have that characteristic hump you see on some other saddle models. It supports the ischial bones very well. You feel stable on it. It's comfortable and doesn't chafe. A perfectly designed opening. And there's also this saddle with a pretty cool and interesting design because it features composite elements within its very structure, along with metal rails, which together ensure a long and trouble-free ride. As for the drivetrain group, well, here we have a workhorse from Shimano. The latest generation 12-speed Shimano Ultegra Di2. Flawless performance, excellent front derailleur operation. The front gears are 50-34 and the rear is 11-34, giving us a 1-to-1 gear ratio for those extended endurance rides. And that's the perfect choice. I wouldn't put a 52-36 crankset here. I wouldn't because it doesn't fit this bike. It has a different character. This bike isn't specifically intended for racing. However, I must honestly say that if you purchase this bicycle, it will be perfectly capable of being raced. Simply take out a few spacers from beneath the stem and this bike, put on a slightly narrower tire, and this bike will also perform exceptionally well in a race setting. The Shimano Ultegra group is one thing, but a second very important thing on this bike is the power meter from Giant. Shane Miller, a channel subscriber of Road Racing. In case you didn't know, after a video I once recorded at Power 2 Max with Łukasz, he subscribed to my channel. He spoke quite positively about the measurements taken by Giant, and I must emphasize the measurements conducted on Shimano cranks. I believe those who are well informed understand that it's not a simple matter. It's not an easy task to get a good measurement on a Shimano crank. And this power meter is here. It works very reliably. I had it connected to my Garmin 1040 unit. It performs exceptionally well without any spikes, and it provides very reliable figures in that regard. It doesn't overstate, nor does it understate. I haven't cross-referenced it with other measurements, but Shane Miller actually did that for me, and he considers this meter to be highly, highly successful. And for a cyclist who's spending 30,000 zlotys on a bike, possessing a power meter is absolutely fundamental. It's simply, these bikes are just expected to have such features, so to speak. Now, getting back to the ride experience and the frame itself. It is such a rewarding experience to ride. This bike impresses with its stiffness, responsiveness, and overall ride quality all at once, thanks to its 420mm chainstay length. Well, it's simply a very comfortable ride. And just a moment ago, Kamil demonstrated just how incredibly fast you can actually ride this bike. What truly surprised him was that I deliberately presented it in a way that he had to catch it immediately. And he looks at it and says, wow, this is incredibly light. So that's a tremendous advantage. Also included are system mounts for Garmin and GoPro cameras, so Giant has not forgotten this very important detail in today's modern bike construction. So Advanced SL is the material used in the forks construction. Advanced is the material used for the frame. These are the composite names. Giant manufactures its very own final product, the one it utilizes to create its bicycles. Of course, they use raw materials that are supplied from external sources. And this truly demonstrates the remarkable craftsmanship of this Taiwanese brand in constructing these components. Very modern wheel profiles, CX ray spokes from Sapim, which is the top model of spokes from the Belgian manufacturer. This is all a very, very big plus. Well, the brakes are in a league of their own. In my opinion, Shimano is the leader when it comes to brakes. That's not even up for discussion. Here, we also have the Hyperglide Plus drivetrain, featuring a cassette system that changes gears in the back very silently and smoothly. It truly is quite impressive and efficient. Well, a significant drawback for me with this bike, so you don't think it's exclusively advantageous, is the excessively wide handlebars. I think they're a centimeter too wide on each side for this particular size. That wasn't my size either. This was a medium. In theory, at 1.71 m, my height should have been sufficient for me to ride this bike, but in practice, I actually need a small. Giant says it's for riders up to 175, and I agree. A small is better for me, and at most a 42 centimeter handlebar. It's a 44. Camille fixed that by adjusting the levers. Now he was riding better, and most importantly, faster. However, in my view, those 44 centimeter handlebars are a bit too wide, at least for me. I'm speaking for myself. For a man of 6 feet with a different physique, the handlebars might just be ideal. Okay, well, this lightweight feel is something I miss in today's bicycles. They are often 8.5 kilogram bikes despite everything. Even if they cost over 25,000 zlotys, they're still often quite heavy, these bikes. There's still room for weight reduction here when it comes to Giant, because Giant has an even lighter model that weighs 7 kilograms. And that is a mind-blowing experience. As for the riding experience, this bike also handles wonderfully near me on the route from Bolesławiec to Lwówek, which is a 5 hills route. And there's one of those turns, a real hairpin bend. I managed to ride through it at 44 kilometers per hour. That's incredibly fast, and I really enjoyed how smoothly and precisely this bike rode as if on rails. That's the hallmark of a good endurance bike. Excellent handling, and that's precisely what I adore about this Defy. It has very, let's say, serious competition. The big global manufacturers produce very competitive machines, and Giant opted for a simple solution without extra suspension, clutches, or other frills. They simply leaned into their greatest strength, which is the sophisticated construction of an advanced carbon frame, endowing it with truly exceptional properties. Diffuse 1, 2, and the issue is completely resolved. I don't expect anything more. With 32mm tires, no potholes are a problem for me. And with that, we conclude this review from the Bobber Valley, recorded in November in a crisp 4.5-degree weather. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This channel grows precisely because of you. Subscribing makes it possible to keep getting more bikes for testing. I want to express my sincere gratitude in advance to all of you who have just subscribed to this channel as new members. That really delights and motivates me. Don't hold back. Below, subscribe, hit the bell, and bye for now.